Well, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin Cash. Shout out to the Dragon Rider. Shout out to the House of the Dragon. We're in a bit of trouble, aren't we? We've hit a little bit of a rough patch, to say the least, over the past few days here. You guys, things are looking like they're going to be turning to the downside over the coming days, and I just want to be very blunt about that because I know I've been calling for prices to go up a little bit more. $800 to $1,000 has been on the table. I want to say it's now off the table unless we see some kind of significant reversal by the end of this week within the next 3 days and 19 hours, which could happen. I'm just not hopeful that it does. If this week does close red, we will have bearish divergence on the weekly RSI, and that would be good for a move down to about $471. Now, we don't have to go that low. It's pretty common to go back where the divergence forms, but we don't have to go back that low. Oh, I'm gonna pause the music. My bad. Hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, you guys. We don't have to go that low, but it's the more common thing to do. And generally speaking, you actually do go just a little bit below that. But we've moved up. We had a good month last month. We've been doing good, and we formed a higher high, relatively speaking. Coming down to form a higher low, that's okay in my opinion. I think that we can all agree that lower prices for BCH are more of a blessing than they are a curse. So as long as you're holding through and you're not playing the short game and you're not selling, so is also expecting the price to go down, but instead the price goes up. That is also a blessing instead of a curse. I hope that makes sense. I feel like I fumbled my words a little bit. Not really. It's just it was a weird way of saying that going down can be a blessing, but also going up can be a blessing is all I'm trying to say. So looking at the daily RSI here, we did have, in my opinion, what looks to be kind of like a double top right here in the RSI, and then we had one drive here, high, lower high, and another lower high, where here we had a high, a higher high, and a higher high. That is double bearish divergence. It could be construed that this all the way back here was also part of this. We could have triple bearish divergence. It is possible, and in which case that would be good for a move back down to about $500, which 470, 500, it's pretty close to the same area. I think testing back at the area where we found resistance before on a closing basis, that's pretty standard for BCH. BCH does love its 69% zone of a retracement. So if we look at the standard low to high here, the relative low to high, the 69% zone would be right there at 435, which is, I'm only including that in there to say that we could go down to 435 and still be fine. Why could we do that? Why would that be okay? Well, let's just assume that we did go down there, and let's delete everything here so it looks clean. That would still be a higher low. It would still be a higher low, and if it happens sooner, it would actually kind of come in line with these lows here. Maybe we don't go down that low. We don't have to. Just because BCH does like its 0.69 area does not mean we have to go down there. It also does like to go sometimes just above its 0.5. Sometimes it likes to go just below its 0.5. It does like to hang out around this 0.5 area as well. And I would say more likely just above it or just below it rather than right on it specifically. But again, that does come in line pretty well with this previous daily closing high that we had before we saw this nice move up from about 346 all the way up to 720. I just think as of right now, you guys, the BCH halving has happened already. The BTC halving is happening in less than a week and a half's time. We've got about 9 days, not even 9 days left until the BTC halving comes upon us. So I would assume that pairing that in culmination with the fact that BCH had its own halving, we probably will see a bout of stagnation. Now, with that, again, comes downside. It could happen. The downside, we could find our low over the next week or two. But just because we find our low in the next week or two, that does not mean that it's off to the races. And in fact, what I would expect is we find our low sooner than later, and then we probably kind of consolidate and then we start to move up. It's not going to be this exciting, just straight shot up as soon as we find our low. I mean, after all, we can go back to the last phase of consolidation we had, which is a very long, almost 3/4 of a year of, or maybe it was 2/3 of a year, I forget, of consolidation. We found our low, if this was the whole consolidation range, right? So you can see here we broke out right there, obviously. we found our low relatively quickly. Like that's most of this was consolidation. The first, not even like a quarter of it, I'd say like a fifth of it was moving down. So again, we might move down relatively fast, but once we find the low, that doesn't mean it's off to the races just yet. If we look at this for what it's worth, we did find our low right around the green line. As the days go on, this green line will continue to climb. But where will it be by the time that we hit it? Who knows? If we were to hit this green line by the end of April, maybe it is around $400. Maybe it is around that 430 area that I was talking about in the beginning. Maybe it moves up more than that. I don't know. Maybe we don't find our low until May. Maybe I keep saying maybe, but perhaps perhaps it doesn't take just a week or two. Maybe it takes about a month to find our low, and in which case that green line would probably come in line with this here. Who knows? We might not even find support on the green line itself, but nevertheless, I do believe we're going lower. I do believe that we have lower to go. And I think the daily RSI is very strong, very resilient. It has been for a while. But we do have double, if not triple, bearish divergence. And to me, that looks as good of an area as any to find a high. If we also look at what we've got on a volume level, you can see that we have lower levels of volume than we did back here. To be fair, the volume was increasing, relatively speaking. It just wasn't as high as we saw back over here, at least the overall reading. So, again, moving back to where the volume was, that might make sense. And in fact, I actually want to take this. Let's see, where are we at here? I want to see. Yeah, I doubt we go that low, but let's see. I mean, that'd be good for a move. We already found support down there. Yeah, that $500 area, man, 520, 500 looks about right. I doubt we'd go all the way down there. I would doubt we'd go all the way down there to like 340. I don't think we'll see those lows again. If we do, cool. I'll welcome it with open arms. I'll be buying some. I know crypto investor MHAT and Smooth Operator will probably be loading up. Ethan Gallstad himself will probably load up on some BCHGs down at those areas, but I'm just assuming. I don't know exactly what they're going to do, but I know myself I would be buying some more, and I know everybody in the House of the Dragon would probably be licking their chops for that. I know we all want to see the price go up, but you guys, I feel like a lot of the people that watch this channel, a lot of us understand where this thing's going inevitably. So seeing this, what I love about the BCH community is whenever we see this kind of turmoil, it's actually not turmoil. It's like, ooh, this is another opportunity to load the truck up and get ready for what's inevitably going to take us to tremendously higher prices. We're at $616 now with the potential to drop down to anywhere from $500 to like $430 is what I would think. Probably more likely that 500 and like just above 500, if not right around 470, probably more likely in that area. But again, we could go to 430, 435 at the lowest is what my expectation would be. We have that potential to go down now, but inevitably I do believe we will see 13K to 20K, 23K, and potentially even past that. We really could. I do want to look at the BCH BTC chart before we finish this. Just look at the 1 hour. The 1 hour looks a little bit bleak on the RSI. 4 hour looks pretty weak as well. The daily is strong, but it has the potential to start looking weak as well. And we did break this kind of structure that we had. I actually want to look at this real quick. Yeah, we'll do the ribbon right now, sure. Looks fine on the daily. 4 hours crossing low. Yeah, crossing down. Yeah. And I don't think it'll be like this time where we got the cross and it was a double bottom. I don't think that we're going to find a double bottom here. I think that we will go lower. Weekly looking good, but pulling back to this to where the line is, the yellow line here, pulling back to the ribbon itself. That's not totally uncommon. And as the weeks go on, this, of course, will climb as well. If we just do kind of like a rough estimation, let's look at it real quick. Hold on. Like this week here, it was at 308. The next week, it went up to 343. So that's about 35, right? $35 of an increase. And then the next week, it went up to 376, which is about another like 30. That's like $33, right? Or no. Yes, $33. And then this week, from 76 to 99. That's only $22. So it is slowing down a little bit, but as the weeks go on, you know, if like 2 weeks goes on from here, we're at 399. That'd bring us up to about 440. If we were to find our low in 2 weeks time, perhaps it is around 440. We don't have to touch the yellow line, as we did not touch it here. But again, just kind of adding emphasis to that area, that 430, 440 area could be an area we find our low, and that's nothing to be concerned about. Just an area to kind of grab your fork and knife and get ready to eat, you know. But if it does take more time than that, this could allow the weekly ribbon to pull up more and give us a chance to bounce off it at higher levels around 500 like we're looking for. But again, you don't even actually have to see that. As long as we're this far above it, even if we were to go all the way back down to like $400 itself, which I very much doubt we would. I don't even expect that actually. But even if we were to do that, this monthly ribbon is looking good for a cross to the upside, so long as we're maintaining months up here. And the further away, the quicker it'll happen. But you guys, things are looking good. Things are definitely looking good, to say the least. In the long run, for the cycle at least. Let's see. Yeah, man. Curious to see. I want to see it. I want to see us continue to cross above these lines. We're already above one line now. Let's get above. Actually, we're above 2 lines right now. Let's get above 3, 4, 5, 6 lines. Let's do it. Wow. We've never been. You guys, Bitcoin Cash has never been above the 30 on a monthly closing basis. We've been above the 25. Back here, we were above it, but we got close to the 30, but never above it. Here, we are actually above the 30, and you can see that here. If I move it over here, you can see the readings back over here. The 20 EMA is at 308, the 30 is at 306, the 25 is at 303. So we're really close to getting above the 35 even. So we're already seeing things that we've never seen before in Bitcoin Cash's history, on plenty of different examples other than just this. But the more lines we cross, the closer we get to this monthly cross, you guys. I think to me it's already inexplicable how you could only see this thing achieving a lower high this cycle. But I think inevitably it'll be undeniable that we are going to see new all-time highs. Okay, inevitably. Things like this are just like one of the many indications that we have that Bitcoin Cash is going to do phenomenal things this cycle. It's absolutely doing different things than it ever has before. But let's do BCH, BTC. Let's do that chart and then finish this bad boy up. So looking at this here on the monthly as well, what a beautiful chart it is. On the monthly, seeing stronger readings than we've ever seen before. They are not the strongest readings, but they are pretty strong. The monthly RSI is a bit weird always, in my opinion, as well. But to be fair, it is the strongest readings we've ever seen. You found support literally right on the 40. The bearish area of control, we are finding resistance. We've actually double topped kind of twice around the 60 area, the bullish area of control, so that's okay. But when was the last time we saw 2 significant candles? This one was 140%. This one's 95% on a monthly basis. This close together, never. We've never seen this. It's just never happened before. I thought we had a higher high for a second. I was about to say that's another thing that's never happened before. On a weekly basis, we've never seen readings that were this high. Coming out of the lows here, and also on a price perspective. On the candles, we've never maintained prices above the 123 weekly moving average like this that we have now. So a lot of good things going on here, but absolutely the weekly does look like, at least right now, that it's rejecting the overbought zone. This could be good for move down to about the 60 area, maybe the 55 area. I wouldn't expect that we would move all the way down to the oversold zone, though I suppose it's possible. I would more expect that we probably do find a low either in this area, if not somewhere around the 50. We could go all the way back down to the 40, but that would be as low as I would kind of expect. If we look at this kind of area, that kind of makes sense. I don't know. I feel like maybe I nitpicked that line. Let me get a better line drawn on here. 1 second. Hold on. Let's see. I mean, yeah. Depending on how long it takes, we could even go below the 40. But I don't know. At the moment, let's just see how we do. I think the weekly RSI looks fine. I don't expect that we will cross back below this green line, though we could prod below it. We could absolutely wick below it. I would assume that we hold above the green line. We've fought so hard to get above it, and I think that we're not about to give that up now. If we look at the daily RSI showing some bearish divergence as well. interesting, kind of weird volume reads, I would say, but looking like we want to go lower. Yeah, yesterday, with yesterday's close being the lowest close we've seen throughout this whole range and a pretty big candle at that, I would say we do look like we want to go lower. And what's probably going to happen is, let's see, from this low to this high, we would go anywhere from 0.00834% of a Bitcoin to 0.0069% of a Bitcoin. It was nice being above a percent. It was really nice, but it's going to probably be some time before we do that again. Now, on the bright side, I do expect Bitcoin Cash to find its low before Bitcoin, okay? Just because Bitcoin's going to move down or potentially consolidate, past for like the next month and a half to 3 months or so, does not mean that this chart is going to go down throughout the whole time. Again, we're doing different things than we ever have on this chart. I would assume that we're going to find our low on this chart probably sooner than Bitcoin finds its low on the USD chart, if that makes sense. And that should make sense, actually. But Bitcoin Cash normally does find its high and its lows before BTC does. But let's just see here. MA exponential ribbon. Looking at the daily here. Yeah, I wouldn't expect it to be too respected, though. I do like the separation we're seeing there. Let me get the log on there. Let's put it on a weekly. Weekly getting that cross again. I don't think we're going to go below the ribbon, but going back to it after seeing the cross happen and coming back to touch it, that's actually a very common thing to do. So, and that's right around that 0.0069% of a Bitcoin area. Inevitably, you guys, I do think that we will see tremendously higher readings than this. I do think that we will even get above this high from the previous cycle. But that's going to be some time. We'll probably, again, consolidate, I would think, for the coming weeks, even the coming months, just because we find our low on the BCH BTC chart potentially in the next couple weeks, even like in the next month or so, does not mean that BCH is ready to just start moving up and skyrocketing again. It could mean that, but likely we're going to consolidate for more than a couple months would be my assumption. So good time to load up the bags, good time to sell your house, sell your car, sell your shoes, and load up the truck, man. But not financial advice. Definitely don't do any of that stuff, you guys. Keep your real world assets. The time to sell your shoes was back here. Okay, if you haven't done it then don't do it now. Okay, not financial advice. You do whatever you want. If you want to sell your shoes, go for it, man. But who would want your shoes? I don't know, man. Anyways, guys, that's all I got for you. If you like the video, hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more. It does look like we're going to be moving lower. I would expect anywhere from about 470 to 510, somewhere around there, with an emphasis on that $500 area, with a potential low all the way down at 435. So that's really that's all I got to say. Again, if you like the video, hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more. I'm going to let the music play for a second and just think if I have anything else that I want to say. I don't think I do. I'm just curious to see what happens, man. Curious to see. Yeah, I don't know. Nothing else for you guys. So take care. Bye-bye. See you on the next one.